I'm just curious, maybe you can speak to, on your end, some of the pieces that were picked up when we talked about prepping for this call was the work that you did on your end with Dave and John about valuing this deal and looking at the metrics. And there was a lot of other deals that had happened of late. They talk about the Chase Center the year before, $300 million over 20. What was some of the groundwork and the metrics looking at like on your end that spoke to or kind of validated the price that we heard about at the end?
Sure. First, let me go to Dave's point. You know, while we had a relationship with the Leafs, and this came down to fit and fee, but fee was before fit. It's great that we had a great hockey pedigree. We were great partners, but at the same time, this was a dynamic market situation, and any one of John's competitors would have paid the same thing, if not more, to get this property. It is an iconic property, and if you're in hockey, you definitely want to have that property. If you're a financial institution that lives on Bay Street, you want to have a Bay Street address with your name on it. When you're dealing with a great client like Scotia, and we've been with Scotia for 10 years when we started this hockey strategy, they live on numbers. So the analytics and the metrics that we used to support and validate the fee base was intensive. And it started probably a year before. And we have done, I think, 3 or 4 venue deals for you already. And as a company, we're always looking to build our database. And we have a really good, much smarter than me group of people that have been able to globally look at the fee base, the type of building, the demographics, the market size, is it next to a highway, the traffic flow. There are so many metrics that you're dealing with. And when you're dealing with the bank, they want to know numbers. And this wasn't, John just signing off on a small hockey sponsorship. I mean, I'm sure this went to the top of the house. And because it was going to be significant news, and as everyone in this room knew the day after, everyone was going like, wow, that's crazy. But, you look at the Chase Morgan example. 7 years ago, they paid $30 million US a year, so that's an equivalent of like 36 Canadian 7 years ago. No entitlement to the building, to the Madison Square Garden. No exterior signage. They didn't have the same inventory assets as well. And on the inventory within the building, we have, I think, 6 or 7 clients, MKTG Canada does, with the Leafs. We know their inventory inside out. We, in terms of the fee, the good inventory, the bad inventory, and it's all great, Dave. But we have a real good idea to validate those numbers. And then to John's point before, we had built up a hockey strategy and a pedigree that involved all the teams in the country, and had players and a massive grassroots program. So to not have the Leafs at this point in time would have been a huge hole in the hull of the ship. And so we then actually went and wanted to quantify how much would it cost us to get the same value, brand exposure, the same brand equity, if we didn't have the Leafs. And in actual fact, it was pretty close to the fee that we paid. There's a lot of other factors that go into this, whether it's hospitality, how many deals are going to be cut over the next 20 years, the basketball team, if we ever end up getting that. So I think the work that goes into it was extensive.